Hi, I am Laurie Bates, and I represent Create Better Health SNAP Ed program. We like to teach people how to eat better and ideas on exercises, and we are affiliated with USU Extension, and all of our lessons are based on USDA. Well, today we're going to talk about mixes. And the reason why I want to do making your own mixes today is because it's budget friendly and you get to have it your way. So if you don't like something, you don't have to put it in. And if your family doesn't like something, then you can do something different. So at one time or another, we've all used mixes to help us with the cooking of our meals. And we've also used commercial mixes, but they can be costly and are often sometimes put with preservatives, which we are trying to stay away from, right? The advantages of doing homemade mixes are, like I said, they're lower in cost. And you know without a doubt that the ingredients are fresh when you've done it yourself. Now, the recipes that are on the handout are the chicken and rice, but you can also make that a beef rice or vegetable rice. You can just kind of switch that up. And once you have the basic, you can kind of make it your own. And then the gravy, you can do a vegetable gravy, you can do a chicken gravy, you can do beef gravy, turkey, anything that you would really like to do. Get started with the chicken and rice. Just like the box chicken rice that you would buy. This one you can kind of mix with the flavors and the seasoning, which is nice, okay? All right, the first thing we're gonna do is, I usually have, you can have a cup or a little container, an oatmeal box, a small one. And then you can do Ziplocs or plastic baggies, or you could do a container like this. Just a little short one, then you can stack them up however many that you need to do. Okay, so I'm just going to put my baggie right inside this little container. So now we can just get to making them, and it can be rather quick. So it doesn't take very long. Just make sure you have all your stuff ready to go, and then you can just continue to do them. The first thing I would do is write on your bag what it is that you're making, and 6 months from now, the date. So that would be August. And then if you wanted, you could put how to reconstitute the mix right here. So I have 1 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of butter, and then 3 teaspoons of brown sauce. And that's how we're gonna make that happen for the gravy. So you can do that, or you can just, remember it on a recipe card or put it in your phone, whichever is convenient for you. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get some long grain rice that your kids can help you. So get all your kids lined up and have someone in charge of one seasoning and have them put that in to your baggie and just kind of pass it on down. So that would work out really well. Okay, so let's do our teaspoon of celery seed. Get that in. Our little bit of pepper, just a little bit, a pinch. And then 1/4 of a teaspoon of onion salt. And I like using fresh onion if I have it. So I would maybe think about not putting that in. Okay, a teaspoon of parsley, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic, 1/8 of a teaspoon of our thyme. Okay. Like I said, really strong, so be careful. And then our 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon. That's it. Then we're going to go ahead and seal that up and mix it. You don't even really have to mix it until you get ready to use it. And that's it. Easy, right? We could do this. I'm going to show you this list right back here. The list has what type. Is it going to go in the pantry, the refrigerator, or the freezer? The mix is a chicken rice or chicken gravy, or it could be beef, which we're going to do today, I think. Okay, gravy. All right. The day we made it, or the expired date. Okay, and how many packages are we going to make? We'll say 1. And then how many we use, we're going to put right here. And if you do this on a piece of paper, you will find it's easier to keep track of it. You can keep it on the inside of your cupboard, and then if someone pulls one out, all you have to do is mark that you used it, and then you know when it's time to do them again. So it makes it very convenient and very easy to do. Okay, so then when you get that all done, when you're ready to make this up, you're going to get yourself a pan, and we're going to put in 1 cup of water, 1 to 2 teaspoons of butter, depending on how much you want in there for flavor, and 1 package of your rice mix. Okay, and then you're going to bring it to a boil, and then you're going to simmer it. And then if you have some frozen vegetables, feel free to put those in as you desire. And then reduce, when you've got it to a boil, you're going to reduce it, put the lid on it for about 15 to 20 minutes or so. Make sure you keep an eye on it. And then this serves about 2 to 3 people. So if you're going to need more, then go ahead and double or triple your mix. Okay, so this is just going to feed 2 to 3 people. All right, then our gravy mixes. Do the beef gravy because it's got some ingredients in there that I kind of wanted to talk to you about. Made 1 1/3 cups of non-fat instant dry milk, and that's the kind that when it hits the water, it makes milk instantly. Okay, if you have the other kind, you're going to have to work your gravy just a little bit more. Okay, I'm just going to put this in a bowl first because I want to mix it up. It says on there an instant flour, and that is a flour that sometimes is very, it's mixed with barley and a wheat flour, and then it's really refined. It's very, very light and instantly works itself into maybe your gravy or whatever you're working with. Or you could use a corn thickener. Okay, and these corn thickeners, they are called like Easy Gel or something like that. And so I'm just going to do 1/3 cup of that because I like it because you can put it hot and cold. You don't have to worry about, oh, is this going to have to go in cold water or is this going to have to go in hot water? You can just kind of put it in and not have to worry about it. And I love that. Okay, so then we're going to do 3 tablespoons of beef broth, okay? And I just have the regular budget-friendly beef broth. People might not. Okay, 3 teaspoons of that. And then we're going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of onion. And then some garlic, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic. Isn't this neat that you can make your own and feel good about what the ingredients are? And you can pronounce them. It's garlic. Do some Italian seasoning, or you could just put like whatever seasonings you like in your family. That would work too. So a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And like I said, just make this up ahead. Try it and see what you think and what you need to tweak and what you don't. Okay, and then just a little bit of pepper, just like a pinch. And then we're going to take our whisk and we're just going to mix this all together. And that's it. Easy, right? Make sure you get a lot of the air out that you possibly can. And if you don't make a lot of gravy, make one up. And then just, you have that and it's ready to go. Okay, so that is the dry ingredients of that. And then we're going to mix it to something called, this is called kitchen browning seasoning salt, okay? Sauce. And this is kind of what it looks like at the store. And you will find this in the condiment area, or sometimes in the Chinese area you might find it. So we're going to need that. And we're going to need some butter and some water. So got all those ready. And I'm going to microwave mine because it's faster. So I have a bigger Pyrex measuring cup, and so I'm just going to use that, all right? And we're going to do a cup of water. Just regular water. And then we're going to use our mix. Seems like a lot because of the milk. But because you're used to having these little teeny packages, right? And we're not going to add our butter until after. So we're going to get it all cooked up and then add our butter. So we're going to put our sauce. So 3 teaspoons of 3 of those. And be careful, don't get might stain you. Okay, so put that in. And then we're going to put it in the microwave for 2 to 3 minutes, depending on the wattage of your microwave. Okay? And make sure to keep your whisk handy because you're going to want to whisk it every so often. Let's talk about our lesson just a little bit, shall we? We're going to talk a little bit about meal planning and budgeting. And does the challenge of making 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, maybe even over 1,000 meals a year, does it get overwhelming? Does it kind of boggle your mind? It does me sometimes. But with planning, the challenge can be rewarding for you and your family. Taking the time to menu plan at least once a week in advance will help in this situation. And 1 month would be even better. So if you can do it a month ahead. Come up with some ideas. Ask your family, gather them all together and say, okay, what are some of your favorite meals? What do you like to eat? And write them down. And like put a timer on and do a race and make it fun so that they don't get bored with it. And then make your shopping at least once a month or every 2 weeks, except for, of course, your produce, which you have to do more often. When you're planning your menu, remember to keep your family's activities in mind. So let's say that Sydney has to work, or Chloe has volleyball, or whatever is going on. Keep those in mind for the month so you know that has to be a quick meal or something that's a grab and go meal. Okay? Try to switch it up. Don't have the same thing 3, 4, 5 nights a week. I know it's tempting just to put cereal in front of your kids sometimes, but once in a while is all right, but not 4 and 5 times a week. You need variety, you need color, different nutrients and vitamins in your diet. Then make a list to go to the supermarket with and stick to it as much as possible. Unless they've got this wonderful, fabulous sale going on and you need what's going on sale. So go ahead and of course, feel free to get that if you have the money to do so. And then stick to your budget. Speaking of budgets, let's talk about how to save a little bit more. And maybe how we could do that is by thinking about it, okay? It sounds like, hold on. Okay. And then we're just gonna mix this around. Really good. Okay, and this is more of a white gravy type of gravy because we've used milk. But if you don't want to use the milk, you could just use the chicken broth and have it more of a thinner, less milk gravy texture to it. And this is done, okay? And I wanted to show you really quick what this looks like because I have got the rice already done up. Oh, we forgot to put we're going to put our butter in right now, okay? So it makes quite a bit of gravy, as you can see. So if this is too much gravy for your family, then go ahead and half it. And make 2 packages, and then make sure you divide your water and all that in half, okay? All right. So get your butter mixed in there really good. And what the butter does is basically just give it some richness. All right. So that's it. And then we've got ourselves some yummy gravy. Look at this. And we're just going to pour that right on top right here, just to add some flavor to our meal. Over our potatoes or whatever it is that you have. That would be really yummy. Look at that. Didn't that look good? Okay, so we've got our rice with our vegetables, a little bit of fruit, and some meat. And this would make a really nice lunch or a maybe bigger serving of meat for your dinner. And that would be way, way yummy. This is what's known as a step-down expense list, okay? So the first thing we're going to do on here is just show you that if you go out to eat, it's going to be about $40-ish, depending on what you're eating. But we're having steak, so $35, $40. Then the next step would be, if you can't afford that, you would make steak at home for about $10 or $15. And then if you can't afford that, we could have steak stir fry for about $1.50 a person. And then if that's still too steep for you, we can have ground beef soup for about $1 a person. So you can see that by going down the steps according to what your budget is, it will make you see that you've got some choices and that you don't always have to just go to the dinner out, the steak dinner eating out, that there are other options. So be thinking about those. Wanted to go over, there's going to be a handout that looks like this in the comment section on JUAB Create Better Health Facebook page. It won't be on the YouTube page, so you'll need to go to JUAB Facebook page, which is JUAB Create Better Health. And then it will be there. And we have got like 20 tips to use when you're at the grocery store. And then we'll have the recipes that we've gone over today, plus the chicken gravy. And if you want more mix ideas, there are books out there. And they have a lot of them online too, but before you got a lot of the supplies for it, I'd try it and see what you think and see if you like it. All right, we want to talk a little bit about exercise. How are you guys doing? Are you getting your exercise in? Are you walking with your family? Have you gone on a hike recently, maybe on your bike trail, if you have one? Have you gone to the park with your kids on a better day? Have you been shoveling too much snow? I hope not. We haven't really gotten too much. And maybe, just dancing in your living room with your family, put in some music and just have a really good time. Those are some of the better fun ideas I used to do as a young mom. I would just put some music on and the kids would dance on Dad's feet, and well, they'd literally get on his feet and they would dance. It was really fun to watch. And we would all be in there just having a good time and giggling and having fun. And exercise doesn't have to be tedious or, oh my gosh, I have to exercise. It can be fun, and it can be a rewarding experience for you and for your fun family. Make a menu up in advance, shopping list, keep to it, and I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope that you will be able to give these a try and enjoy them with your family. This is Laurie Bates, from my home to yours.